Hey girl, hey! How you doing today?
Girl, look at that slickness. That was this week's challenge. You look like if Sandra D and John Travolta had a baby.
Mm-hmm.
Yos.
With the space alien haircut.
I love it.
I feel like
Give us
this.
a
Yeah, you want to see? You want to see it? I bet you do.
I bet I do. Yes, I
You make
do.
me sick. No, I'm kidding.
I put all my money on seeing that.
So here we go. Let's get into it. So this is sort of like a little schoolgirl. It's sort of like Sucker Punch. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's like equal parts. Like, oh, you're gonna send me to boarding school? Shut up, Steve. You're not my real dad. It's like part that. Or I feel like it might also be the goth kids in South Park that burned down the Hot Topic. So
First of all, this look without the jacket is like me on stage from 2014 to 2019, and I love it.
yeah, and I put on a little garter, a little extra garter.
Yes, yes.
For the woman on the
Oh,
go.
queen.
So I don't know. I kind of like it with the jacket because I like all the hardware. But this what do you call this? This bodysuit is very sleek. So that was
Yes, I love that. I love that. The challenge was slick, dear readers, if you didn't know. And I almost love the juxtaposition of the flirtiness of the skirt with the jacket, with like the severity of the jacket.
Yeah, so I think my good friend Tamale Sepp, who is a burlesque performer and comedian from Chicago, she described it best as rugged femme. Which is like, yeah, there's elements of femme, right?
I feel that deeply.
Right? I mean, Brooke, I feel like this is a look that you have a deep affinity with, rugged femme.
I guess.
Executive.
Do I have
militant.
a hatchback in case I need to carry mulch anywhere? Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
like which Subaru am I gonna put it in?
And nobody wants my mulch, just for the record. Like, I don't know why I'm ready at all times, and I've never hauled mulch. But anyways, oh girl, it is
never
so
too late to start.
How's your week?
I took today off, so that's great.
That is great.
Yeah, I've been trying to, focus on the basics like demonology, herbology. You know what I mean? Just
back to basics. Back to basics.
You know what I mean? Yeah, back to first year Hogwarts.
Right. Yeah. Even the prelims, the application. You don't need to jump the gun.
Yeah, you got to do your owls before you do your newts. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that's the right order.
I do.
I don't.
I do know what you're saying.
Yeah,
I do. Oh, that's so excellent. I'm so glad you took the day off.
Thank you. Yeah, I cleaned a little bit. I planned an outfit, and you know what I did not do, Brooke? I did not cook.
Yes, you didn't cook. Yes. Okay, so
Eileen
didn't cook, and I was at a work event all day, and it was a really fun work event, but I also couldn't cook. So Eileen is going to take us into what we are dishing on. So I'll start with, I'm drinking a Merlot, which I realize the only reason I don't drink Merlots is because of Sideways. And I don't know enough about wine to be that much of an asshole. So I've started to give Merlots a chance. And 10 out of 10 highly recommend, because I'm not Paul Giamatti and I'm not going through a divorce. And I think it's just, you really need to revisit a Merlot. Anyways, and what are you dishing on drinking tonight, girl?
Well, I actually don't care for a Merlot, just to throw it out there. Hot takes. I like a Pinot Noir or a Cabernet, but I do not like a Merlot.
I normally do that, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little zesty. It's a little zesty for me.
Yeah.
But
well, I was feeling a little celebratory, and I like the classics, girl. I think we've touched on that before on this program. And we talked about one of the classic up cocktails, a martini, but tonight I brought you the other one, which is my personal favorite, a Manhattan.
Oh, girl, that is breathtaking. You know how to serve a Manhattan and a Luke.
There is nothing
Cheers, queers.
Oh, cheers, girl. Absolutely. I have to lift it up slowly because it's very full.
So, what is your key to a great...
I'm so glad you asked, Brooke. I have a couple rules of thumb, which I learned from David Embury in The Fine Art of Mixing Drinks, 1948. I highly recommend you get yourself a book if you consider yourself to be into the arts of mixology, because he'll take you to the, Prohibition just ended, everyone's getting real creative with cocktails, and he breaks down the anatomy of a good cocktail. So my rules of thumb are make sure that you have the right proportion of your ingredients. So he defines them as the base spirit. A good cocktail should be half or more of the base spirit. And then you have the modifying ingredients, and then you have the flavor / color, what are they called? Agents, I think? Like flavoring agents. Okay. So, in a Manhattan, there's only 3 things, plus the garnish, but the garnish doesn't count, right?
Right.
I mean, it does count. It does count because it adds a whole different, right? You add one garnish, it gives you a different twist on it than another garnish. So a Manhattan is either bourbon or rye. I like rye sometimes because it's a little sweeter, and I like bourbon at others because it's a little more savory. It has more body to it. This one is with rye bourbon. This one's with rye whiskey. And then sweet vermouth. So generally it's like 2-to-1 ratio. So you want to have 2 times the amount of base spirit than the sweet vermouth. And then a dash of bitters, which is about like 5 drops. If you don't.
What kind of bitters do you use?
I use Angostura for Manhattan because I like
the classic. Yeah.
The classic. It's timeless. It's complicated. It adds such an extra, like it's just, so bitters are an botanical reduction of plant matter. And they're usually suspended in like a little bit of fortified wine or something. Like they're mildly alcoholic, but they're not alcoholic enough to get you drunk because they're so, you can't have a lot of bitters, right? Because they're so intense. Like a bottle lasts you forever.
Right. I love the black walnut bitters that they had at Two Truths. I bought it for the house because I was like, I love it so much. It's just with a rye whiskey, I will do that with just a dash of the black walnut bitters, and that's it.
I mean, you might not know this about me, Brooke, but I like darkness. And what I like to do, I have a bottle of black walnut bitters too, and for Christmas time, I like to take blackstrap rum, like the really, really dark molasses rum, and then put some black walnut bitters on it with an ice cube, and it tastes like a Christmas cookie. It is intense, like you can't have more than one of those because it's just like, it's very rich. But yeah, Christmas time for me is all about rich food, so it goes well with that.
Right, it goes really well, or like an after dinner drink or something like that.
A nightcap.
I love that.
Yeah. So, I love a Manhattan. I do like some twists on Manhattans, like a black and blue Manhattan has blueberries and Averna, which is a type of Amaro. But you know what? You can't go wrong. Just don't order these at the gay bar. It's not a good thing to do because...
No, they will butcher it in front of you. Yeah. And then you have to drink it. And they put a maraschino cherry in it. And you have to, like, take it seriously.
Oh, my God. Okay, so permit me for a moment of judgmentalness.
What are we here for? What are we here for?
What are we here for, frankly? So, another thing that David Embry says is that a cocktail's only as good as its cheapest ingredient. So if you put together a great Manhattan and you dunk a maraschino cherry in there, it's just going to taste like maraschino juice. You know what I mean? Yeah. So do yourself a favor and go down to the store and get some Luxardo cherries, which are like bourbon-soaked, delicious, jammy. Like you bite into them and it's like biting into jam. They're so good. Get those.
Delicious. Mm-hmm. Well, girl, what are we dishing on tonight besides how sensually you describe a Manhattan?
Girl. We've often said that our friendship is like the best relationship without the sex. Cheers to that.
Oh my God. Cheers. No, seriously, cheers to that because we love confusing everyone at Home Depot and never sleeping with each other.
And frequently do confuse people at Home Depot.
It is truly amazing, like in terms of the gender spectrum. Yeah. What I'm into is like all the way on the other side of what you are, and what you're into is all the way on the other side of what I am. Like outside of identity, just
it's true. It's true. It's really true.
And we lucked out because guess what? In the queer community, you make friends. You're like, oh, do we want to fuck? Oh shoot, we want to. Do we actually want to be? Oh no,
it's true. And typically, you figure that out pretty quickly, whether or not the potential is there. And I feel like, Brooke, for you, I mean, first of all, we're two femmes who are not really attracted to other femmes, generally speaking.
Facts,
I mean,
facts.
There are some exceptions. I'm looking at you, Kristen Stewart. But anyway.
She's not a fucking femme.
No, that's true. That's true. She plays one on TV. But anyway. But anyway, Brooke, I feel like you and I, when we got to know each other and I came over and pin curled your hair, that one time in like 2015 or 2014. I was like, this is family energy.
Yeah. Big family energy.
Definitely family energy. So, girl, tonight, speaking of family, we're talking about.
Look at that transition.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that transition. Not
Look
you.
at a segue. Come through, segue.
I like not the word transition. No.
Transition.
Look
I'm
at
like
that transition.
I mean,
not you. The other one. The other
I
one.
mean,
oh my God.
If the binder and or tucking panty fits.
Oh God. Anyways, what are we dishing on tonight? Family. Pets.
Family. Fur babies. We're talking about fur babies. How they fit into the family and like how you're a package deal when you're in a relationship and you have pets. Sometimes you are the one who doesn't have pets, and then it's like, oh, what if you're not really a pet person? How do you deal with that? You know what I mean?
Well, I think the first relationship we have to talk about is our relationship, you and me, and what baggage we both came with moving in together.
Mm-hmm.
Because you had an adorable bunny. If you haven't seen Constance Nibblington III, otherwise known as Bunny, she's on the Instagram.
Yeah.
But I came with like an 80-pound terrorist
named
Penelope. And I mean, bulldogs, if you all know my loaf, peonies. Oh, hi, big girl. I talk about you.
And living with us was a bulldog in a china shop.
Oh my God, yes. And she is a big walrus, and she loves Eileen. She loves Eileen.
Get her on the dish cam. Is she here?
Hello?
Penny, are you here? Oh, baby. Hi, sweet pea. Oh, she can hear me. Hi. Oh,
no, she tried to get to you.
I can't.
She tried to get to Miss Eileen. She was obsessed with Eileen. We lived together.
I can't handle
so much so, she would like lay outside of Eileen's door.
Yeah.
And like breathe through the crack in the door like a raptor. She'd just be like,
yeah.
So obsessed. And you're like, I'm good. I need a break.
Yeah, I'm watching Netflix and like all of a sudden there's a quiet part and I just hear under the door. So funny.
But you know, there's dogs and then there's bulldogs. I mean, I'm serious. Like bulldogs, you know, the bully breeds are a lot of energy, but they're also really needy. People think bulldogs are lazy. They're not. They're very active and they need a lot of attention.
Yeah.
They don't need the activity of like a boxer or an American bulldog or something. They're intense. And when we moved in together, you were like, I'm not a big dog person. Not like, you like dogs. But you don't
no, it's true. I would not describe myself as a big dog person, you know?
Right. And I'm like, I am a big dog person.
Yeah. I was like, I am a big rabbit person if such a thing exists.
Oh, Bunny. You know what? Let's pour one out for Buns.
Oh, Bunny. Pour one out into our mouths.
But no, I brought Penny into partners' lives and then we break up. And shouts to many of them, except when I had to get that restraining order against. Oopsie goopsie. They were all really good about like understanding, where that relationship landed and like where I go into relationships and like, this is my ride or die. But you have to have the conversation. It's a pet prenup. You have to have the conversation when things are good when you start dating, especially if you get a dog together or a cat or a bunny where it's like, all right, if this doesn't work out, it's like, no, I love you forever and everything's great. No. If this doesn't work out, whose dog is it? Because or cat. Like, it's chattel. Like, it sucks. I know it's like not nice, but legally it's a property. So figure your life out. I'm going to get her some more water while we talk about her.
Yeah, I mean, you have to figure it out for the sake of the pet because you got to make sure that they're going to be taken care of and in a situation that is, that does them justice, what they actually need.
Penny was terrible at split custody. When I did the split custody,
she doesn't like change. Younger,
she got seasonal alopecia from stress. Oh. And she started losing her fur.
Oh no, she was a little high bald. She was a little balding angel.
She was. Have you ever dated anyone with a pet?
Well, I lucked out with Monty because he is like me. He had a Doberman named Mocha who was super, super sweet. I didn't meet her because she passed in like 94. So she passed like 20 years before Bunny passed. Because Bunny passed in like 2014.
To Monty, when I would bring over Penny, he would roll out the furry red carpet for that loaf.
Yeah, and yeah, they get along famously because Monty is a dog person. He just doesn't really like the cleanup, and that's kind of where I am now too. If I still had a bunny, like I was living in a lot of college places, you know what I mean? You know the kind. So like I had a lot of carpet.
Amber Falter has a joke, those like college apartments you get where the landlord is 3 raccoons in a trench coat and like you leave the money under a rock in a meadow.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's such a funny joke. It's so real.
Yeah, it's very much that because you're like, all right, what was replaced when I came in and what's being replaced when I go out, Like,
right, that's it.
Just this
very
revolving,
utilitarian.
Yeah, revolving door real estate. So I had rugs that could be torn up. It didn't matter, I had furniture that I got at like Goodwill or wherever I could get it, And she liked to chew on table legs and chair legs. She'd just take big chunks out of them like a cartoon apple, just like how, And she tore up a whole carpet behind. She used to like to squeeze herself between the wall and the box frame of my bed. And she would just sit back there in the corner and chew up the carpet. That was how she dealt with the stress of living. She was very upset when I moved her to a hardwood floor
I wish
bedroom.
my vices were that approachable. Just chewing on carpet.
I mean, you say that, but
in post, put the drum sound in there.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Put it in post.
Yeah.
No,
so anyway, but now I'm like, I don't want stuff to be destroyed. So I'm like, I'm good with plants. I'm good with plants at this point.
Oh my God, I'm good with plants. But yeah, no, it's a whole thing. And like, I'm allergic to cats. And as a queer person who's in relationships, it is very difficult. I got in like a fight with my ex because like, you need to pay for my Claritin.
Yes.
Like that shit is expensive. I was in law school. I didn't have a lot of money. And I was like, you gotta pay for my Claritin. Like, this is pricey. Like, help me out. And it's like $50 a month for a 30-day supply. You get generic $39.99.
And if you have to be on Claritin all the time, like that's a lot to deal with.
Oh my God. So the first night I spent with my ex in law school. Oh my God. And they're just an absolute delight. I can't speak enough of them. You know them. They're just a true delight. I had an allergic reaction in their bed because they had a cat and the cat slept where I was in the bed.
What kind of allergic
reaction? So it was like, the cat slept there.
Yeah.
So no joke. I wake up at 3 a.m. after we did some business. I won't be airing anybody's dirty laundry, but let's just say it was very dirty laundry. And they wake me up and they're like, are you okay? And they did this impression of me for years. And they were like, I'm fine. Because my whole face was swollen. I couldn't talk.
Yeah.
I'm fine. And they ran. So this is Short North back in the day before it was gentrified.
Yeah.
Because I'm old. And in Columbus, Ohio, there's this arts district called the Short North. And they ran to the UDF to get me a 2-pack of Claritin. Because it was the only thing that was open at 3 a.m. was the 24-hour UDF. And it cost them like $40. Because you know how at gas stations they my
gosh.
Do the single serving, right, of whatever, and it's cost like $38.99.
Yeah.
And they bought it. And that's when I knew this one had options. Like, I was like, oh, okay, I'll see you. It was really sweet.
Yeah. But you picked me. You picked me with that Claritin.
Yeah, kind of. I feel like that's a big investment for a one-night stand.
Yeah. Like, covermymeds.com.
I think that's taken, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, you're right.
Maybe .org.
Ooh, I like that. So what kind of allergy reactions do you? I actually don't have pet allergies, thankfully. I have really bad seasonal allergies, but is it kind of like that, like breathing pathways obstructed?
It's a lot of skin, actually. So
really?
I break out in red and hives and a rash, and then my airway blocks, and But I really lucked out because it really starts topically, like it really starts on the surface. So I usually have like a heads up. And girl, we could all just use a Benadryl and a nap. Like, it's not the worst thing in the world to have to lay down for a minute.
Yeah. I do love a nap, but I'm going to be useless the next day. Like Benadryl.
Oh, facts. You're
Benadryl
so hungover.
Yeah.
From Benadryl.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Same thing with Vistaril. I took that for panic. I tried it for panic, and the same kind of thing. Like, it just felt very, very... couldn't form sentences, you know.
Right.
I'm not trying to do all that. Like, even on a day off, I still want to be able to talk.
right details.
Yeah.
No, it was definitely one of those things where like now I'm like, okay, if I'm gonna go on a date, I pack a Claritin just to be sure.
Just to be sure. That's
It's
actually
how
a
I
great.
pack my protection, you know?
Yeah, it kind of sounds like prophylactics. Just to be sure.
And I put it in like my little pocket in the magazine ad.
Yeah, yeah. Looking back. Yeah.
Do you have a tabby? Anyways, things are going off the rails.
Yeah. So I think, I think I'd get a bunny again, but I'd have to really figure out like how the damage, like damage control. And
I love Bunny. Bunny ate all my kale.
Oh, she loved kale. She loved kale, dandelions, and bananas. Those are her 3 favorite things. Oh, and Cheez-Its.
I was paleo when we lived together. #nightmare. And I would take the kale stalks and bring them down, and she was just nom 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 nom. It was my favorite. It was how we bonded.
Yeah, that's how you bonded. Because they're so bitter, but so was she. She liked bitter things.
She was a very bitter loaf. She's a very bitter what would be the word? Countess. I think she was a countess.
Yeah. Definitely some kind of like Princess Margaret vibes, just chain smoking, hating everyone.
Yeah, definitely like spinster in the bad way, the misogynistic way.
In the misogynistic way.
Or divorcee, which I have a huge problem with that word. Obviously, as a divorcee, I have a huge problem with that word.
I'm in the picture and I don't like it.
Just feels too Grey Gardens. I just feel like I need to have all my furniture covered in sheets and be like, don't bother with me, I'm a divorcee.
Yeah, we're related to the Kennedys. Girl, here's the thing I would never do. So this is where we really we really have to talk for a minute about getting pets together. I have never really understood this phenomenon. But I'm also like this with everything. I'm like, you know what? There are my dishes and there are your dishes. There's my car and there's your car. And I'm like I've passed 10 years and collected my $200. Like, I'm now in a 10-year relationship and we still do this thing where I'm like, oh no, that's her china. This is my china. It's like, so I might not be the best like example of what's normal, but I'm just curious, like, why do people do this? And it's just like, how do you deal with it in the aftermath?
Well, I can tell you, it's a fucking nightmare. But I think there's 2 things, right? First of all, I think I know why you do what you do. I mean, everyone knows why you do what you do. They tuned in for the engagement ring episode last week, so I think they know where you fall on this stuff.
On the spectrum.
I was unrelated to my divorcee status, listening to a marriage podcast about like a marriage counselor, and I was talking about how like pretty much the biggest cause of ending relationships is kind of losing your identity, and like kind of becoming this one identity, and then if something shifts, like losing that. So like, oh, you're in hiking? I'm not, but I'll get into it. And then all of a sudden you look up 20 years later and you're hiking, and you're just like, I don't even like this, right? Like, and that's who we rediscover.
You wake up one day people, and you've been hiking for half of your life.
And then what are you doing?
Yeah.
But it's almost like maybe that is how you manifest your like still singular identity, and that's how it manifests. And it manifests in a million different ways. For some people, it's like, I'm gonna go out with my friends. I'm not gonna tell you when I'm gonna be at home. This is my night, right? That's the other way it can manifest, whatever it is. But I think that is really a manifestation of like your independence and ownership of what you love. You both are dish queens, so that's funny, but like you both love them. So why wouldn't that be a thing? But I think in lesbian relationships, sorry, y'all, I can say this. There is this, incredible codependent habit, and also, a piece of, I don't really want to think about what it would be like if we aren't together forever. So why wouldn't we do this? And it's almost this like, it feels like chicken. It feels like, oh my God, in Footloose where Kevin Bacon and the guy, they're like trucks and they're playing chicken and want us to go off the road. I don't know. I know it's played in a lot of other movies, but I think it's in Footloose, so I know it.
I'm used to gay chicken, but I don't know what porn y'all watch. Sorry. Did I just say that?
I don't even know what gay chicken is. You're going to have to tell me offline.
Oh my God, you don't know what? Oh no, I'll tell you here. It's when 2 straight acting guys are like, it's like daring each other to how close they can get, and they're like daring each other to kiss. It's like, when you're broken. I'm just gonna talk. I'm just gonna talk directly to myself right now. You know when you're broken and you were forced to be in the boys' locker room and you hated the smell of Axe body spray, but it also turned you on? That's what watching Gay Chicken is like.
Got it. Okay, so this is not Gay Chicken, but great educational sidebar. I feel really good about it.
Just a brief tangent. Thank you for coming.
I love it.
For walking with me on that.
So if you're the bully in the truck and we're dating, and I'm Kevin Bacon in the truck, we go towards each other and we're like, well, why don't we just move in together? Well, why don't we just get a dog? We're going to be together forever, right? Why don't we just get married? And it's just like, oh my God, like, you know what I mean?
And then you've been hiking for half of your life.
And then you've been hiking for half your life.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that's one of the pieces of like, you can't say in a 5-year or in a 5-month relationship, well, I don't know if we should get a dog. And it's like, well, no, like, it'll be my dog, but like, we'll take care of it together, which is famous last words. Because whenever they say they're going to take care of the dog,
you'll be taking care of the dog. Oh,
I know.
So
I'm petting low.
So do you think it's like, do you think it's kind of like aspirational or trying out is it trying out forever? Is it kind of like, let's imagine what forever would be like for us?
And you learn a lot about how people move through, like, you know, caretaking, not parenting, but caretaking.
Sure. Not the same thing, but related.
No, yeah. You learn a lot about how people are as caretakers and what happens when they get angry and what happens when someone shits on the rug and just kind of the shit you want to know.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. You can learn that if it's your own animal. You don't need to split custody. And I, again, 10 out of 10, highly recommend pet prenups. Always. Always. Love, I'm not petting you anymore. I'm talking with Miss Eileen.
Love, we settled that. It's everything's okay. You're not going anywhere.
She's looking for you. She's looking for your nails.
Oh.
She misses your nails.
She loves my nails. She
loves your nails.
My scratch nails.
We love to see it. Girl, all right. So as we wrap up, I need to give you a challenge for next week. You mastered this week with Slick.
Thank you. I tried very hard just for you, baby.
Like goth queer Fonzie energy.
Don't I look like I can change a tire? Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so next week's challenge, we're gonna get real abstract.
I like abstract.
Because this is the word that came to my mind, and I'm really hungry, and I'm drinking this Merlot.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking of like a juicy plum.
Is that it?
Juicy.
A juicy plum. Oh, juicy I can do. I was
juicy.
Like, juicy plum. I mean, I could try. But yeah, all right.
No, juicy is it? It's a little more abstract than normal, but that's like my energy tonight.
Brooke, you're just trying to get me out here with my full can just exposed.
Yes, juicy, yes! Get in the chat, yes!
Get in the chat. Oh, we were a little bit.
I love you so much.
I love you too. We were a little bit risque tonight.
Gay chicken sounds like a hoot. I'm gonna look that up. Everyone else should too.
Yeah, look it up. Look it up off the air. It's a good thing to do to yourself. Draw yourself a nice bubble bath. You know, get yourself real ready. Drop the rose petals and the bath bomb right in, and just look for gay chicken.
First of all, I don't know if that's going to get me there, but I promise if I do, I'll record an Instagram video for our Instagram of my face watching.
Yeah, reaction video. Like, you don't even have to show the video. You could just have the audio and just your face. That's, yeah.
I just always look like one of the Sanderson sisters, just like...
Book!
That'll be a theme in October.
Sisters!
So I love you so much.
I love you.
We'll be back on Tuesday, next Tuesday. Don't miss us. We already miss you. Get in the chat, slide into our DMs on Instagram, tell us what you want us to talk about, or tell us we're gorgeous. We really don't care. We'd love to hear from you either way.
I love it when you do that, so you can do that any day of the week.
Ask Eileen to change your tire.
Yeah, and then watch me not do it.
Love you, girl.
All right, well, that as always is Covered Dish. See you guys next time. Bye.